Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do this morning on this beautiful Sydney spring morning is to bring you a book and to bring you a magnificent Sydney spring sunrise. The book that I want to talk to you about at length is entitled Teach Like Finland, a book that was published on the 18th of April 2017 by an author who goes by the name of Timothy D. Walker. Let's see what we can learn, what we can take, what we can glean from this book and incorporate into our own inventory of skills, knowledge, wisdom, and potential power. Most classrooms today feel like pressure cookers, standardized testing, endless grading, behavior issues, and burnout everywhere you look. Teach Like Finland dares to ask a revolutionary question. What if joy was the strategy and not the reward? Timothy D. Walker takes us inside Finnish schools where students thrive without the constant fear of failure and where teachers don't have to sacrifice their souls to the job. He doesn't romanticize Finland as some magical utopia. Instead, he shows how simple and deeply human practices transform learning into something children actually enjoy. You won't find complicated frameworks or trendy educational buzzwords here. What you'll find are rhythms, breaks that give kids room to breathe, relationships that matter more than results, and trust replacing micromanagement, and a belief that curiosity is enough to carry a student forward. Walker makes one point absolutely crystal clear. The happiest classrooms produce the strongest learners, because joy fuels learning better than stress ever will. So let's see what we can learn, what we can take, what we can incorporate, and what more we can learn from this book, because learning is a life journey, and if we learn to love learning, then we're on the right course. A key message from this book as a starting point is the learning that we need to take a break before you break. and finish schools, build regular outdoor and movement breaks into the day, kids come back sharper, calmer and ready. Work doesn't suffer, it actually improves. Rest is a teaching tool. The other key message to come from this book is where we talk about trusting the teacher. Instead of drowning educators in rules and in scripts, Finland trusts them as professionals. When teachers feel valued and respected, they teach from a place of creativity, removing that fear of failure makes them braver learners, and they build confidence and not fear. The next point to come from this book is where we talk about less pressure equals more learning. Grades aren't used as weapons. Students focus on mastering skills, not surviving exams, which is in and of itself a beautiful and powerful sort of lesson that we can all use in our lives and our family lives as well. The other message that comes from this book is where the author here also reminds us that we need to focus on relationships before rigour. Joy grows when students feel safe, seen and supported. Connection isn't a distraction from learning, according to this author. It is actually the soil that learning grows in. Another point that I like from this book, and I found quite liberating and powerful as well, is that teachers, our educators, need joy too, because a burnt out teacher cannot spark enthusiasm. It's really important to understand that. A burnt out parent, a burnt out teacher, a burnt out employee, a burnt out manager can't spark enthusiasm. And you need that enthusiasm, you need that spark in order to be effective in anything in one's life. And Finland prioritises a thing called teacher well-being as much as student success, because when teachers thrive, classrooms brighten instantly. So in summary, and thank you very much for once again joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, this book, Teach Like Finland, is more than a book for educators. It's actually a wake-up call for anyone who cares about the future of children. Walker hands out 33 strategies, but at its heart is one unforgettable truth. A joyful classroom isn't a dream, it's a choice. One that we can start making from today. So there you go, another ferry on this beautiful, beautiful morning where we've got a sunrise here as well. And I'd like to thank you once again for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, a journey that I've taken over the past 5 years, a platform that I have built episode by episode by episode, and I've got now a YouTube channel that has over 2,500 episodes. And as I say to my granddaughters, if you listened to just one video a week, it would take you over 50 years to get through all of the content that I have been delivering day by day, week by week, over the past 5 years. So thank you once again, and I hope you can gain as much out of this library and out of this work that I do, that it can make a difference in your life, just like it has made an important difference in my life. Take care, everybody. Wishing you all the best, and bye for now.